Hollywood romances have always fascinated us, but some stories manage to capture attention more than others. Few relationships have had the kind of spotlight and speculation that Jennifer Hudson and Common's partnership has seen. From the outside, looking in, it appeared to be a fairy tale union of two acclaimed artists, each successful in their own right, seemingly ready to build something lasting. But as insiders and fans alike have whispered, things are rarely as perfect as they appear in Tinseltown. Let's start by acknowledging the pattern. Common has long been considered a man who struggles to maintain stability in romantic relationships. The rumors, the whispers, the stories passed down through entertainment circles, these all point to one consistent theme. He moves from one connection to another, never quite settling down. He's been likened to a bee flitting from one flower to the next, searching for something perhaps he can't define. And Jennifer Hudson, despite her stature and influence, may have been caught in the same whirlwind that has tripped up countless women before her. When the news hit that Common allegedly moved on without notifying Jennifer, the reaction was immediate. Social media erupted with shock, disbelief, and, in some corners, glee. One moment, Common was publicly gushing about Jennifer, as though she were the only woman in the world. The next, he was allegedly seeing someone new. For many fans, it was a jarring juxtaposition, a reminder of how swiftly the facade of celebrity romance can crumble. The narrative that emerged was messy, with whispers suggesting that Common had even been speaking ill of Jennifer behind her back after allegedly cheating. Speculation about timing and motivation ran rampant. Did Jennifer's refusal of Common's proposal last year spark a change in him? Or was this merely another layer of distraction, a way to deflect attention from rumors circulating about his personal life? The idea that Common may not exclusively be attracted to women has long floated in entertainment circles, adding fuel to the fire. Timing, after all, can be everything, and this sequence of events appeared too suspicious to ignore. To understand the present, it's essential to examine the past. Common's romantic history reads like a who's who of Hollywood's elite. Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Tiffany Haddish, Erykah Badu, Kim Jones, Ava DuVernay, Simone Biles, the late Chadwick Boseman, Jaguar Wright, Angela Rytha. List is extensive and illustrious. Every single one of these high-profile women, despite their accomplishments and status, eventually moved on from the relationship. Patterns like this rarely occur by chance, and insiders suggest that Common's approach to love is more about the thrill than the long-term connection. Common has been candid about his tendencies. He has admitted that once the excitement fades, though, honeymoon phase, the butterflies, the relationship loses its spark for him. He craves the chase, the newness, and the initial sparks of attraction. But when romance becomes routine, he reportedly drifts away. This self-awareness, while honest, doesn't mitigate the impact on those left behind. Jennifer, like many before her, may have thought that her own success, charm, and stability could alter that pattern. When Common linked up with Jennifer, he publicly proclaimed that he had done the necessary work on himself and was ready to settle. Then he even mentioned in interviews that if he were to ever marry, Jennifer Hudson would be the one. For a moment, it seemed fans could finally believe in the fairy tale. Yet, eagle-eyed observers quickly noticed subtle signs that all was not as it seemed. Jennifer appeared solo at events more frequently than expected, her smiles sometimes forced, her social media posts cryptic. Fans and onlookers began connecting dots, reading between lines, and speculating that perhaps the storybook romance was starting to fray. Now, rumors suggest that Common's attention is wandering once again, allegedly drawn to a mystery woman in secret. Reports claim he's been spotted in situations that suggest intimacy or interest, all while Jennifer remains absent from these moments. The public is left piecing together a narrative from glimpses, whispers, and social media breadcrumbs. The complexity of their dynamic only deepens when considering Jennifer's past. Her history with David Otunga left lasting scars, shaping her approach to love, trust, and commitment. those experiences may have contributed to her hesitancy to jump into marriage with Common, despite his insistence that he was ready for a serious, long-term relationship. This cautiousness was not a slight against him, but a reflection of her desire to protect her heart and her family. Meanwhile, insiders suggest that Common's reactions to Jennifer's reservations were less than ideal. Allegedly, he expressed frustration, venting to others about her refusal. This pattern, if true, paints a picture of a man struggling with accountability, particularly in romantic partnerships. Adding to the intrigue are resurfacing rumors about Common's sexuality and how it may influence his relationships with women. Jaguar, right? An ex-partner, suggested that Common's public relationships with women may not reflect his private attractions. These claims, coupled with observations of his interactions at social events, have fueled speculation that he may have complexities regarding intimacy that were not fully addressed or understood publicly. This ongoing drama, layered with Jennifer's own history of complicated relationships, creates a potent mix of speculation, gossip, and intrigue. Her past with David Otunga involved allegations, court proceedings, and protective orders experiences that undoubtedly shaped her approach to love and trust. Navigating a relationship with someone like Common, who already carries a significant public reputation and a history of brief relationships, would be challenging for anyone, as the public debates and speculates. One thing remains clear: the story is far from simple. It's a tale of ambition, heartbreak, personal growth, and the public scrutiny that comes with celebrity life. Whether Common and Jennifer's saga ends in reconciliation, further estrangement, or something entirely unexpected, the narrative serves as a reminder of the complexities behind celebrity relationships, the very human struggles hidden beneath glamorous appearances. Nothing ever stays simple, especially when two stars of Jennifer Hudson's and Common's caliber are involved. And when fame meets history, the fallout can be dramatic, messy, and sometimes scandalous. Let's rewind a bit and consider Jennifer Hudson herself. J. Hud is not just a powerhouse singer or an Oscar-winning actress. She is a woman whose life has been punctuated by challenges, heartbreak, and resilience. Her past with David Otunga, for instance, left scars that go far deeper than headlines ever revealed. Allegations, legal battles, accusations of misconduct was a toxic chapter, and one that shaped her approach to intimacy and relationships. It's no surprise that when Common stepped onto the scene, Jennifer approached the romance with caution. She wasn't just considering the immediate charm. She was weighing decades of emotional lessons. Insiders have hinted that Jennifer's hesitancy to say yes to Common's proposal wasn't just about timing or skepticism about him. It was also about self-preservation. She had seen firsthand how relationships could spiral out of control, how public perception could be weaponized, and how vulnerability could become a liability in the wrong hands. For someone who has experienced heartbreak under public scrutiny, stepping into another high-profile relationship was a calculated risk. And yet, Jennifer tried. She gave the romance a chance, opened her heart, and trusted that Common was ready to match her energy and commitment. But then, the cracks, reportedly, began to show. Friends and insiders claim that Common's attention started to waver. He allegedly became more distant, more elusive, and less present in ways that were subtle but noticeable to those closest to Jennifer. The sparkle she expected in a relationship, the reassurance that she wasn't just another name in his long list of high-profile partners, seemed to fade. And for someone as perceptive and observant as Jennifer, these subtle shifts were enough to ignite concern. Speculation began to swirl that perhaps Common wasn't entirely honest about his intentions. Maybe, as rumors suggest, he couldn't be. The chatter about his wandering eye is nothing new. Hollywood insiders have long joked about his inability to commit. But now, the whispers weren't just about fleeting attractions. They were about emotional patterns, unspoken truths, and possibly even matters of identity. Allegedly, some in his circle hinted that Common may have deeper complexities in his personal life that he's never publicly addressed, making it harder for him to maintain a conventional relationship. Meanwhile, Jennifer's social media posts became a hotbed for speculation. Fans noted cryptic captions, emojis that seemed out of place, and photos that subtly indicated moments of solitude rather than companionship. Every image was dissected, every post analyzed, and every comment scrutinized. The public became amateur detectives trying to piece together the story from breadcrumbs. And in the absence of official statements, the rumor mill churned at full force. Yet it's not just about Common. Jennifer's own history complicates the narrative. Her long engagement and subsequent fallout with David Otunga left lingering fears and insecurities that undoubtedly influenced her decisions. Allegedly, she vowed never to rush into another commitment, no matter how charming or persuasive the partner might be. That cautiousness, however, may have been misread or perhaps intentionally misrepresented by those around her, including Common himself. Insiders suggest that a tension built over time, fueled by miscommunication and differing expectations, while Common may have promised readiness and commitment. Jennifer's guarded approach was a protective measure, not a rejection of him personally. Yet, in the rumor-driven world of Hollywood, nuanced realities often become simplified into sound bites and gossip fodder. Suddenly, Jennifer's caution was portrayed by some as coldness, distance, or even rejection, while Common's frustration was painted as justification for his actions. Adding another layer of intrigue are the claims surrounding Common's alleged social interactions outside the relationship. Stories have emerged that he has been seen cozying up to other women at private events, sometimes in ways that suggest more than casual friendship. Witnesses at high-profile parties reportedly noticed him engaging in conversations that lasted hours, leaning in, whispering, and showing a level of attention that fans began to read as intimate. Whether these encounters were harmless or suggestive of deeper patterns, they only served to heighten speculation about the stability of his bond with Jennifer. Then there's the question of how Common's history with other women factors in. The roster of past relationships, athletes, actresses, well documented, and the fact that none of these relationships lasted long-term has led many to conclude that Common may struggle with the practicalities of intimacy and sustained commitment. Insiders allege that he is more enamored with the excitement of new romance than the mundane realities of a steady relationship. It's a common theme in celebrity circles. The thrill of the chase often overshadows the value of stability, and, for some, the routine is the enemy of passion. Yet, this story is never black and white. Jennifer, too, brings her own complexities. Her previous relationships, public scrutiny, and experiences with betrayal have undoubtedly shaped how she navigates love. Rumors have circulated that her past relationships involved drama intense enough to rival any Hollywood script. Allegedly, she faced accusations, protective orders, and court battles that forced her to assert boundaries in ways that may have intimidated or challenged partners. The result? A woman who is fiercely protective of her heart and her family, unwilling to settle for less than respect, care, and emotional alignment. Some insiders have even suggested that Common may have felt overshadowed. Jennifer's career trajectory, accolades, and financial success make her an undeniable powerhouse. And in a society that often scrutinizes male partners in unequal ways, this imbalance can create tension. Allegedly, if Common felt diminished or insecure, it could have contributed to growing resentment, miscommunication, and ultimately distance. At the same time, speculation about Common's private life adds layers of intrigue that the public can't ignore. Ex-partners and Hollywood whispers have hinted at complexities regarding his attractions and desires. Allegedly, some suggest that he may be navigating internal conflicts related to sexuality, identity, and intimacy. These unconfirmed stories, combined with his pattern of short-lived relationships, provide fertile ground for rumors, gossip, and public fascination. Meanwhile, Jennifer's own social narrative has remained consistent, cautious, guarded, and self-protective. Sources close to her assert that she entered the relationship with hope, optimism, and a genuine desire to create a partnership. But that optimism was tempered by experience, both hers and what she observed in Common's past. Trust, once broken or questioned, is not easily restored, and according to insiders, this may have been a central issue in the romance. And then comes the layer of public perception. Fans, media outlets, and commentators have had a field day connecting dots, interpreting body language and speculating about private interactions. The spotlight of celebrity life is relentless. There is no room for privacy, and no misstep goes unnoticed. In such an environment, every interaction, every smile, every gesture, every cryptic post is magnified, dissected, and debated. This intense scrutiny only adds pressure to relationships, particularly those involving public figures with complex histories. In the case of Jennifer and Common, the intersection of past trauma, personal patterns, and public curiosity created a scenario that was arguably primed for drama. Whether or not every rumor is true, the narrative captures the imagination because it reflects familiar human struggles, desire, trust, jealousy, fear, and the eternal quest for connection. Jennifer Hudson's past with David Otunga remains a crucial piece of the puzzle. While the media often focuses on the glitz of celebrity lives, the reality behind closed doors can be far more intense. Sources close to Jennifer reveal that her 9-year engagement with David left emotional scars that continue to influence her decisions. The relationship was reportedly tumultuous, fraught with jealousy, accusations, and legal battles. Allegations flew in both directions. David accused Jennifer of infidelity, while Jennifer alleged that David's behavior became controlling and, at times, threatening. The most dramatic revelations came from Jennifer herself, who reportedly detailed incidents in court filings showing how David allegedly attempted to surveil her during work commitments, using their son as a pawn to prove her supposed misconduct. Such claims, if accurate, paint a picture of an environment in which trust was fragile and tension was constant. For someone entering a new relationship, especially with a man as high-profile and scrutinized as Common, these past experiences could not be ignored. Jennifer's caution wasn't coldness, was survival instinct. She had learned the hard way that trust must be earned and that vulnerability comes with real consequences. Meanwhile, Common was presenting himself as a man ready for stability. He publicly claimed that he had done the necessary work on himself, undergone therapy, and was finally prepared to commit. He vowed that if he ever walked down the aisle, it would be with Jennifer Hudson. On paper, it sounded like a fairy tale. A powerful couple, united by love, ready to conquer the challenges of Hollywood together. But insiders suggest that appearances can be deceiving. And what looks perfect to the public eye often masks tension, insecurity, and unspoken truths. Rumors began circulating that Common's interest in Jennifer may have shifted over time. Friends and associates allegedly noticed subtle signs, missed calls, less engagement in public appearances, and even cryptic comments on social media that hinted at underlying issues. To fans, these details may have seemed minor. But in the high-stakes world of celebrity relationships, every gesture is magnified, every silence analyzed, and every smile scrutinized. Speculation about Common's private life only intensified the intrigue. Some insiders hinted at possible complexities regarding his sexuality and personal identity. Jaguar, right? An ex-partner, has publicly suggested that Common's relationships with women may have been more performative than authentic, claiming that he has attractions that aren't entirely heterosexual. While these claims have never been fully verified, they align with the pattern of short-lived, highly public relationships that Common has maintained over the years. Adding to the tension is the notion that Common may struggle with intimacy beyond the initial stages of romance. Sources claim that he thrives on the excitement of the initial spark. The flirtation, the novelty, but loses interest when the relationship demands consistency, emotional labor, and deeper connection. For someone like Jennifer, who values stability, trust, and genuine partnership, such tendencies would naturally create friction. Even more, insiders suggest that power dynamics may have played a role. Jennifer's career and fame have reached heights that few can rival. Numerous awards, accolades, and public recognition, she stands as a figure of influence and strength. Common, despite his achievements, may have experienced moments of insecurity in the relationship, particularly when comparisons between their career trajectories or social influence emerged. Allegedly, this imbalance, if true, could have fueled subtle resentments and contributed to the growing emotional distance between them. At the same time, Jennifer's behavior throughout the relationship reflected her caution and awareness. She reportedly made a conscious effort to protect herself from past patterns of heartbreak, to avoid rushing into decisions that could compromise her emotional well-being. Friends close to her suggest that every action, from attending events alone to carefully curating her public appearances, was intentional. She was signaling independence, strength, and self-preservation qualities that, while admirable, may have been misinterpreted by Common or misrepresented in media narratives. Then, there's the issue of public speculation. Fans and social media followers dissect every interaction between the two, often creating narratives that may or may not align with reality. From subtle body language cues to cryptic Instagram posts, every detail is scrutinized. In Hollywood, the court of public opinion moves fast, and misinterpretation can spread like wildfire. For Jennifer and Common, the constant gaze of observers may have amplified minor tensions into perceived crises, creating an environment where pressure, expectation, and gossip collide. Insiders also note that Common's own social behavior became increasingly controversial during this period. Stories began to surface of alleged interactions with other women at private gatherings, sometimes involving extended conversations, physical closeness, and behaviors interpreted by onlookers as intimate. While it's impossible to confirm these encounters definitively, the narrative fit a familiar pattern. A man whose relationships are high-profile, short-lived, and often followed by secrecy and speculation. Amidst all this, Jennifer maintained a careful balance. She reportedly focused on her family, her career, and her own healing, all while navigating the uncertainties of a relationship under constant public scrutiny. Sources emphasize that her patience and self-control were extraordinary, especially given the alleged complexities surrounding Common's behavior, past relationships, and potential private struggles. But the whispers didn't stop there. Allegedly, some suggested that Common's frustrations may have stemmed from more than Jennifer's hesitancy or his own personal conflicts. They could have been linked to her past with David Otunga. Reports indicate that some believed Common might have felt overwhelmed by the intensity of Jennifer's history, the emotional baggage she carried, and the protective measures she had in place for her family. While such interpretations remain speculative, they highlight how past relationships can influence present dynamics, particularly when fame and scrutiny intensify the emotional stakes. And, of course, the broader context of Hollywood gossip cannot be ignored. In celebrity circles, personal history, public perception, and media narratives intersect in ways that are both compelling and destructive. For Jennifer and Common, the combination of past trauma, relationship patterns, and intense public interest created a volatile environment. Every choice, every interaction, every post became fodder for discussion, judgment, and speculation. Ultimately, Part 3 shows that the story of Jennifer Hudson and Common is far more than a superficial celebrity romance narrative involving past wounds, personal growth, societal pressure, and the complicated realities of love under a microscope. Jennifer's resilience, Common's patterns, and the swirling gossip all contribute to a saga that captures the imagination, evokes empathy, and sparks endless debate. As fans, we're left piecing together fragments of information, analyzing behaviors, and trying to understand the human emotions at play. It's a tale that's messy, dramatic, and painfully human, because even amidst fame, wealth, and accolades, the struggles of love, trust, and identity remain universal.